Pregame.com.
It started to become a national pastime, not betting the Super Bowl side or total, but betting the Super Bowl prop plays. This is Brad Powers in Pregame.com studios just off the Vegas Strip, and the Super Bowl more than a week away as we're taping this, but it's official on Thursday, January 25th at the Westgate. Hundreds of Super Bowl prop bets will be made available, and we got a couple of tips for you here. And Fez, I know you'll be betting hundreds of Super Bowl prop bets, or at least dozens. What are a couple of key factors in how you can win when it comes to Super Bowl prop betting?
Before we talk about winning, let's talk about avoid losing. And one of the things to avoid is needle in the haystack props. Look to avoid stuff where there are dozens of outcomes that can occur, and you have to pick the winner. First player to score, exact number of points to be scored, the exact final score in the game. Frankly, it's just too difficult to predict those, and the household on those bets approaches just astronomical levels. That is not the spot where the pros attack. That's where the Joes go in and donate their money to the casinos.
Now, your very first Vegas Super Bowl experience was a guy holding one of these bets, a sucker bet.
Yeah, this is right around the early 90s. It was one of those Denver Broncos Super Bowls against the 49ers, 14-0 49ers. And I see this young kid, Bronco jersey. He's holding a ticket. He's like, I can't believe I blew a buck on Sammy Winder. And there it was, $100 at 5-1. Sammy Winder to score the first touchdown. What were the true odds? Probably should have been more like 18-1.
I like it. But is there, when it comes to the books on these particular bets, kind of a hidden secret that they destroy the public, and that's why the book, for the most part, has a winning Super Bowl every single season.
Yeah, and you actually see this like in NASCAR props when NASCAR comes to town, where if you bet on every driver to win the race, an equal amount, you'd be locking in, losing half your bankroll. And the same is true here, on betting these exact final scores, that if you could indeed do it and be indifferent to the outcome, if you started out with $1,000, you're only going to get back 500. Huge house edge.
Any other traps to avoid here?
Parlay cards, ties lose. Most places put out a ties lose card such that not just on the side and the total, but some of these props land on the number so often. Guess what the number of interceptions are going to be? 2. The number of fumbles to be lost. 1. You can imagine how often one of those props lands on the number, and the house ties lose, scoops the pot on anyone who gets trapped into betting those.
Your second key point, Super Bowl prop betting.
Let's talk about winning. Let's attack the props where there's only 2 outcomes to bet on, a yes versus a no, or a total number of yards for a player to go over or under. That's the way the pros do it. They find the pricing there to be minus $1.10, and it's just like betting anything else, and they can go ahead and attack it and bet it yes or no, and all they have to do is hit their 52.4% to break even.
And speaking of pricing, on a lot of these prop bets, you got a huge variance between the odds at each different book.
Yeah, so when you're betting on even like an NBA game, the line is the same everywhere. It's all on the screen, and the favorite's favored by 8. But on these props, crazy stuff occurs. Number of yards a quarterback will throw for. He might be 288 yards at one place. Down the street, he might be at 296. It's not on the screen, so it's not obvious when there are middles and when there are differentials. So it pays to shop always, but it really pays to shop come prop time in Las Vegas during the Super Bowl.
With now more than 300 prop bets available, I know you're going to have dozens of them. Fez, let's go ahead and recap the video here.
Let's recap it. Super Bowl prop basic strategy. Avoid needle in the haystack bets. Things like predicting the exact final score. Just too hard to win, too much house vigorish in those bets. Focus on props that have 2 outcomes only. Players to go over or under selected yardage, and yes-no props. That's the way that the pros make money, and that's where you find the edge betting the Super Bowl. More videos, pregame.com.